Stellantis just shocked the entire auto industry by unveiling a truck that's anything but silent. Powered by a 797 horsepower Hellcat Redeye V8, this beast redefines chaos on wheels. While rivals race toward quiet EVs, Stellantis doubled down on raw muscle, and the whole industry wasn't ready for it. It's July 2025, and while most car companies are busy trying to one-up each other with silent EVs and recycled dashboards, Stellantis straight up flipped the script. Their CEO casually walks on stage and says, "Yeah, here's 7 new models for 2026. Like it's no big deal. 7, not 1, not 2, 7, boom. Just like that. Now that alone should be a headline, but let me tell you what actually stole the entire spotlight. The 2026 Ram 1500 TRX Redeye. That truck didn't just show up, it showed up, kicked the door in, and threw everyone else off stage. You remember the TRX, right? The big bad supercharged truck that made grown men weep and competitors sweat? Yeah, that one. Well, they killed it back in 2024, or so we thought. Everyone said goodbye, shed a few tears, and moved on with their quiet little hybrid engines. Stellantis said, "Nah, we're not done here." So just imagine the whiplash when they announced that the TRX is not only back, but it's louder, meaner, and faster. And I mean faster. The RHO was supposed to be its successor, with a polite little turbocharged inline-6. But apparently, someone at Stellantis came to their senses and decided that wasn't nearly unhinged enough. So now, instead of retiring the beast, they just gave it a gym membership and injected pure chaos under the hood. This isn't a reboot. This is an adrenaline overdose. The 2026 Ram TRX Redeye is packing the Redeye version of the Hellcat V8. Yeah, the one your neighbors complain about at 6 a.m. And it's been tuned to 797 horsepower. That's 95 horsepower more than the already insane 2024 version. Like, how do you even justify that to your insurance company? Yes, ma'am, it's just for groceries. So, what do you get with this thing besides enough horsepower to bend space and time? Well, everything that made the old TRX a legend is still here. The long travel suspension that eats up rocks like popcorn? Still here. The off-road tech that laughs at mud, sand, snow, and probably small rivers? Yeah, it's back. And inside? Luxury. Because of course, if you're going to launch off a sand dune, you might as well do it with leather seats and a panoramic touchscreen. But here's the part that really has people scratching their heads in the best way possible. Stellantis is doing this while the rest of the industry is pulling back. Ford is toning down. GM is whispering about hybrids. Meanwhile, Stellantis walks in with a truck that sounds like it wants to punch your Prius in the face. Everyone else is building quiet little electric cocoons, and this thing shows up screaming at full throttle. It's honestly kind of hilarious. The timing couldn't be more rebellious. Dodge, part of the Stellantis family, has been walking away from big V8s. They've been promoting all these Hurricane inline-6 engines, launching electric variants, trying to be all green and gentle. And then, boom, TRX Redeye. It's like the brand said, "Okay, we did our EV homework. Now here's something to blow the roof off your garage." And if you think this is just a PR stunt or some flashy one-off, think again. Stellantis is sending a very clear message. They are not done with internal combustion. Not even close. In fact, they're doubling down while everyone else is scaling back. They're basically looking at the global EV trend and saying, "Cool story. We'll be over here building muscle trucks." For truck fans, this is not just a surprise. It's a freaking miracle. Everyone thought the age of supercharged V8 trucks was over. Regulations are coming down harder than ever, fuel prices are absurd, and automakers are tripping over each other to show off their latest battery tech. Meanwhile, Stellantis is out here reminding people what a real truck sounds like at wide open throttle. If you're someone who still believes a truck should rumble, roar, and make your pulse spike, the TRX Redeye is your new religion. Now, let's just step back and look at what this means in the bigger picture. Stellantis just launched this monster in a lineup that's also got hybrids and EVs coming. That's not a mistake. That's strategy. They're not picking one side. They're saying, let's build for everybody. But the TRX? That's not for everybody. That's for people who want their morning coffee served with tire smoke. You don't launch a 797 horsepower truck in 2026 unless you've got a point to make. And the point is loud and clear. Internal combustion isn't dead, not yet. This truck exists for the thrill. It's not about efficiency. It's not about quiet sustainability. It's about punching the pavement and waking up the entire neighborhood. And here's where it gets even more symbolic. Around the same time Stellantis is bringing back this fire-breathing truck, Dodge is also reviving its Hemi 5.8s for the Charger. This isn't coincidence, it's a coordinated resurrection. The TRX Redeye is riding the same comeback wave. It's like they're staging a full-on V8 rebellion against boring. Think about that timing. As other companies prepare to shelve their last combustion engines and roll out another line of indistinguishable EVs, Stellantis drops a high-performance V8 truck and shouts across the industry, "We're not done yet." That takes guts. It also takes a little bit of madness, but the good kind, the kind that sells. And maybe that's what makes this truck more than just another model on a spreadsheet. It's a statement. It's Stellantis' way of telling the world, we see your efficiency and we raise you 797 horsepower. They're not interested in following the rules. They're rewriting them, one supercharged cylinder at a time. And let's be honest, this truck might just become a collector's dream. We all know regulations are tightening. The window for producing monsters like this is closing fast, which means this TRX could be the last of its kind. The final, full-throttle celebration of everything loud, fast, and unapologetically mechanical. For anyone who still believes trucks should sound like thunder and drive like war machines, this is your moment. And just when I thought Stellantis couldn't get more unhinged after reviving the TRX Redeye, they decided to throw a full-blown party across their entire lineup. Because apparently, bringing one monster back from the dead wasn't enough. No, they had to come back swinging with 6 more shock launches that had fans doing double takes and rivals reaching for their inhalers. Let's start with something elegant before we circle back to chaos. The 2026 Alfa Romeo Stelvio. Yes, Alfa is finally going all in with Stellantis' shiny new STLA large platform, and it's not playing small. This thing will be available in both hybrid and electric form, but the EV Quadrifoglio? That one's absolutely bonkers. Try wrapping your head around this. 986 horsepower. That's not a typo. That's nearly 1,000 horses in a European SUV with Italian curves and LED eyeliner. Add to that a brand new wide infotainment setup, full-width taillights that scream luxury, and OTA updates. This isn't a facelift. It's a reinvention with teeth. But then comes the total 180, the comeback of the Jeep Comanche. Remember that name from back in the day? Yeah, it's back, and it's not just here for nostalgia points. This pickup enters a segment that's already crowded with soft little city trucks like the Ford Maverick and Hyundai Santa Cruz. But the Comanche is not here to blend in. It comes off-road ready out of the box, not as an expensive add-on, not as some premium trim. Standard. You get AWD and Jeep's legendary 4x4 system from day one. Plus, there's a possible Trailhawk version in the works that might bring in low-range gearing and a locking rear differential. Powertrain options? You've got a base 2.4-liter 4-cylinder, a stronger 270 horsepower turbo, and even a 288 horsepower plug-in hybrid pulled straight from the Dodge Hornet. Compact size, off-road muscles, and plug-in flexibility. Tell me another truck that's doing that. Next up is something that feels more like a science experiment in the best way possible. The 2026 Ram 1500 Ram Charger Hybrid. This one's weird and brilliant. It's technically a plug-in hybrid, but it doesn't drive like one. The gas-powered 3.6-liter V6 doesn't even touch the wheels. Instead, it charges a generator, which powers the motors, which power the wheels. In short, you're basically driving an electric truck with a gas safety net. And the numbers? Insane. 647 horsepower, 610 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds, and a combined range of 690 miles. Let that sink in. That's longer than anything else on the market. The EV-only range? A respectable 145 miles before gas even gets involved. This thing makes range anxiety sound like a medieval disease. Now onto the Jeep Compact Hybrid SUV. Finally, a Jeep for the middle child. This model will slot right between the Compass and the Grand Cherokee, giving buyers that perfect just-right porridge situation. Built on the same STLA large platform as Alfa and others, it's launching as a hybrid first, which is smart. Full electrics scare some people. Hybrids? Much easier to sell. The AWD4xe version will likely come with a larger battery, dual motor setup, and actual off-road guts. So, yeah, it might look tame, but it's still a Jeep underneath. And don't think Stellantis forgot about the compact truck crowd, because the Ram Rampage is ready to enter the US market straight from Brazil. If you want a smaller Ram with a little more style and less driveway intimidation, this is your truck. Built on a unibody platform it shares with the Dodge Hornet, the Rampage promises crossover-like comfort with the perks of a pickup bed. You're looking at a 268 horsepower turbo engine standard and an optional 288 horsepower hybrid setup if you want that extra kick. Price-wise, it's expected to land just above the Ford Maverick's sub-$25,000 tag. But you're getting a way better interior and more standard features. Basically, it's a city truck with a country soul. What's wild is Stellantis isn't choosing between these options. They're doing all of it at the same time. And yeah, it's chaotic, but maybe chaos is what sells now. So what we've got here is an automaker launching an insanely loud truck, nearly 1,000 horsepower European EVs, plug-in hybrids with more range than a jet, V8 muscle cars from the grave, and city-sized trucks that punch above their weight. It's messy, it's loud, it's bold. And if you thought that was wild, hit subscribe, because what Stellantis just started is only the beginning.